Hey everybody, this is Mike with Free Roaming Hiker, and I am out here in Yellowstone National Park doing a relatively quick and easy hike around the Sentinel Meadows, which is kind of on the north end of that Firehole Drive, which is also open for bicycling as well. And this is going to wind up being roughly a 5-mile hike, maybe a little less. Not a whole lot of elevation change, and some pretty views, some remote trails, because not a lot of people back here. And it's all part of the lower geyser basin, so there's a lot of other features that not a lot of people get to see. And that's one of the nice things about Yellowstone, is you get on a trail, you pretty much have it to yourself, and you get to see all kinds of things that most people don't. I am taking my opportunities when I can recording these, because it is a pretty breezy day, and I happen to have these groups of trees behind me blocking out a lot of the wind. So so the trail starts off, you go up the freight road, which is also the bicycling road, and just about a little less than half-mile in, you'll cross the Firehole River, and then immediately on the right there is the Sentinel Meadows Trail, and that does a nice little loop around part of the lower geyser basin. If you're actually wanting to add more mileage to it, you can continue on into the Imperial Meadows, where you can also catch Imperial Geyser, and then also loop back around to Fairy Falls, which is in the immediate vicinity. So lots of options here, some great little trails that not a lot of people explore past Fairy Falls. And yeah, we'll go see what's back here, because I haven't been here, so curious to check it out. One thing I will say about this area, which I learned from experience, and while there's not much of a breeze, I would not recommend drinking the water back here. I did an Imperial Geyser loop with Goose Lake and Fairy Falls last year and tried to filter some water. Looked clean, but I could taste a lot of minerals in it. I spit it out. I didn't use it. This is not the kind of water you'd want to drink. There's a lot of hot springs, thermal features in the area. They're pouring in a lot of minerals and stuff that you don't really want to ingest. So bring enough water for what you think you're going to do. Don't chance on needing to filter any, because this is not the place to be trying to get some water. Even if you have a good filter, it's not going to cut it all out. So just bring what you need and be ready for that. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. It makes a world of difference, and I really appreciate every like and every new subscriber. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comments below, and we're gonna keep moving. One thing to note, whether you're doing the Imperial Meadows just south of here, or the Sentinel Meadows, or both, be aware that this is a very exposed hike. There's not a lot of shade, so be prepared with sunscreen. If you go that route, I wear long sleeves. I try to keep all my skin and exposed areas covered, shaded. So whatever the case, be ready for a lot of sun. And similarly, this is also grizzly bear area. So you get on a trail, not a lot of people, more likelihood of seeing a grizzly bear or black bear. This is definitely more grizzly bear habitat, but odds are never great that you're going to see one, but that possibility is always there. So just always be prepared, have bear spray ready, know how to use it so that you can enjoy your hike. Okay, so back there I passed a backcountry campsite, which would be a pretty neat place to camp, and then went up and over a small hill where you got a great view over the meadows and a few large hot springs out in the background, and really pretty spot, really pretty area, just a really wild landscape back here, and no road noise, no other noise, not really anybody here. So a really pretty spot. Trail kind of meanders up past those hot springs, and then it's like I'm climbing another hill, and I'll see what is at the top of this hill. So a quick fun fact, despite the breeze, this little hill that lines this whole trail back here, that is the caldera rim of the Yellowstone supervolcano. It's a 30 by 45 mile wide caldera rim. It lines a lot of the park, especially around the upper, lower, and midway geyser basins, and that's what that hill is right back there. So the trail is now in a thicker forest, which is nice because I can not talk over the breeze, but doesn't last for very long. I can see the other opening right over there. So if you're banking on this for shade, don't count on it because it is short-lived. Pretty and quiet stretch of the trail where I'm kind of following this little like a little finger of a meadow cutting into the forest, and it's almost like a tiny little valley between the forest edges, and it's pretty, it's quiet. So got to the back of that little finger meadow that was passing up into the forest, and went up and over a little small rise and came out here to this great view overlooking both the Sentinel and then even farther back the Imperial Meadows back there. It just kind of stretches on. You'd have no idea there's a road somewhere back there, but it's a really pretty view and nice little vantage point from the trail. So it looks like I'm kind of starting to wind back toward the main access trail, bike trail, freight road, goes by a few different names. But yeah, it's a pretty trail back here, nice and quiet. Haven't seen any people or wildlife, but did see some wolf scat back there on the trail, which was kind of exciting. Looked like it was probably a little less than a week old, but so nothing recent, but still, yeah, really nice landscape back here. Definitely worth checking out if you're looking for a good roughly 5 miler. Not too much elevation change at all. So you can see, I just got to this point in this trail where there's clearly a fork, and looks like some people decided to keep going straight when in fact, based on the branches, it looks like the trail actually goes right. And I just noticed while I'm standing here, there's also an arrow pointing to the right. So when you get here, do not be thrown off by that. Make sure to look for it. You will see the logs on the ground trying to block you from going straight. When you see that, just go right. You'll see the trail. Not that hard to miss. So an interesting little surprise, the trail wound up going past a little hot spring or two, and in that area the trail kind of virtually disappears. It's really not a trail at all because there's a lot of bison that walk through, and there's spring and the winter. And then in addition, the ground's very soft and there's not a lot of vegetation. So the trail itself is not easy to see. What you do have guiding you though are orange flags that are kind of all along the trail. And there is a very prominent one where you should be walking near that hot spring. So obviously don't get too close to it. I assume the park checks on that orange flag and make sure it's still safe. Felt very safe when I was walking past. So look for that. And then as you pass that, there'll be another in the forest just ahead to get you to that point. And then from there, it's pretty easy to follow the trail again. Until of course you get to this point. And I see the orange marker. It is right over there. So just look for those if the trail disappears, and then we'll get you back on the trail and guide you to where you need to get to go. So just a little bit back there, I got to the junction with the Imperial Meadows Trail, and that's a great way to add a few more miles to the trip if you wanted to do that, if you wanted to get some more mileage in. I went left, I'm heading back to the car. I should be back at the main access trail, that main bike trail, freight trail, whatever you want to call it. That should be coming up right up here, probably about another mile, maybe a little less, back to the car. So I will put the actual mileage total of the trip right there. And yeah, it's a pretty trail. It's quiet. It's, you know, relatively uneventful. You're not going to get the big majestic views or anything like that, but there's a lot of really pretty expansive views. Nice and quiet. You got the whole trail to yourself pretty much. And yeah, great one to check out if you're in the area. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And thanks for watching. Happy trails.